What's going on, guys? My name is Yellow S2K and I'm playing some MX versus ATV Reflex, and this is another custom track review. We are at Angel Ridge by Plush. It's a pretty cool track. I have an issue with it, but we'll go positives first. I like how it's a little rough. I do like the dirt textures. You can see the switch there over to this kind of orange stuff, and it switches back throughout. It's almost a little too abrupt when it switches. I'd like to see it blended a little bit more or something like that, but that's nitpicky. I like to see the different textures, and I actually really like the environment. He says the environment and object placement is his weakest link, I guess. But I disagree. I really like the minimal, just kind of the little yellow track markers placed throughout, and then you know, just it doesn't need much. Every track doesn't need a ton of shit everywhere. You know what I mean? And I think it does a really good job. Actually, that's one of my favorite parts of the track, is the environment and the objects. And the scaling through there was all nice, but this is where I bring my problem. Kind of the rest of the track, I don't like the scaling. It's just too wide open, too big. The corners are too deep. It's just not. You need to go a little wider there next time, but it's not the best, I don't think. And I know it's personal preference, so maybe you guys dig it, but for me, a track like this where it's so wide open, where literally you're just full throttle the entire way, I don't think you ever need to lift off the throttle on this track. And for me, that is a deal breaker. The track is fun, and I really hope you download it, but for me, it's not going to be one that I play too often because of the scaling. It's just full throttle. Like, I mean, there's no skill involved, and the whole fun about Reflex is kind of the reward that you get, that feeling you get when you get through a section that's really tricky. There's really nothing tricky on this track. It's just full throttle the entire way as I make a mistake. But that doesn't mean it's a bad track. It means that it's not one that I'm going to keep for a long time, but I am going to have some fun with it, and I think everyone should. But yeah, that's the quick and dirty review, to be honest. This review might end abruptly. For whatever reason, it's freezing on this track, but I hate to be too negative, and not because you want to be too positive on these, because I'm totally fine with giving a total like this track sucks, but this track, it doesn't suck. It doesn't suck at all. In fact, I think it's a really cool track. The environment's great. I think he has some pretty cool obstacles, some nice jumps, nice jump faces, some nice kind of rutted up, rough corners. But the scaling's a deal breaker for me. It just is. And I know that might just be me, but I would really like to see this guy make a track similar to this, or even redo this track. Hopefully that's not too disrespectful, but and just change up the scaling, make it a little tighter, make it a little bit more difficult. And God, I need to go wider there. But honestly, I think this is a great start. I don't know how many tracks this guy's made, how far along he is in the process, but I'm impressed with everything except for the scaling. So take that for whatever you think. But you can have some fun on this track because you can throw some fun whips. Not that many opportunities for some really cool scrubs, but yeah, just in general, it is fun. Any track like this is fun, especially when it's got some nice rough stuff to it, some nice inside-outside lines, and like I said, there are some really fun jumps. Like this one is a good example, kind of jumping back over the track. So like I said, like even that jump there, just really cool. The way it throws you, it's not this like silly poppy stuff. It's like got a nice big feel to it. But I would like to see it just kind of, these jumps mixed in with some more difficult, slower sections. And I think that would really make this track something pretty special, to be honest with you. I know I said the ruts are good, but I do have an issue with the ruts. There's not really like a solid rut. Like this is just a big old inside berm, really. There's a couple of those corners with the kind of rutted up sections, but they're not like ruts that hold you, and they don't have to. Not every track has to have a rut that really holds you. But I would like to see them. Maybe add a couple tight sections with some ruts. Again, you can do your own style of ruts. I know that's kind of like your own art or whatever you want to call it. But I do like the scaling of this section, once again. I think it has a really good feel. He did a great job with just like the spacing of those jumps there. And here's an example of these ruts. And you can just go a little bit slower, so I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot. But to hit that inside one, and it is pretty cool. So I don't really have a problem through that whole section, to be honest with you. I think that whole section's great. But the rest of it is kind of where I have my issues. Let's try to go inside. There are some like smaller ruts there. It's not necessarily a bad idea. Let's go a little bit wider this time. Oh, shit. That's what I get. But anyway, that's kind of my quick and dirty review of this track, Angel Ridge by Plush. Good job, dude. I don't know, maybe this is the kind of track that you like and a lot of other people like, so I could be totally wrong here, but I hope you keep making tracks, dude. I'd love to see something slightly different from you, because I think it's obvious that this track maker has a lot of skill, and I love the environment, the dirt textures, the kind of rough feel to the dirt. It's not just this totally even stuff. These dirt textures, they change almost a little too abruptly. I like to see those like faded more. I don't know if that's possible. That could be me just being stupid and not knowing. But I like this, like kind of this rough corner there. This jump is great. Yeah, there's a lot of positives, but there's also some negatives, or a negative, just the scaling, to be honest with you. And again, personal preference. So I don't know, guys. Let me know what you guys think of the track. It's always interesting for me to hear what you guys think. And yeah, I don't know. I totally dig the track, but man, if there were just a few changes with scaling, this could be something really, really special. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the review. And Plush, great job with the track, dude. And keep making them. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching. And until next time, I will talk to you later. Peace out.